Hello, world. Thanks for tuning in again. The voice from the north. If you've been tuning in, you know that I've been really twisted up lately with regards to the world order and what I see as going back centuries in evolvement. We are devolving, and we have a small amount of people dictating that. But this morning, if you caught my video, I had the privilege and honor of attending a man named Walter's funeral service. And Walter lived to be 88 years old, and his wife is 84. And his life was an incredible one, and he immigrated here from Poland probably around the age of 20. When he was 8 or 9, the Germans came in the middle of the night and put him on a train, and he was held in a concentration camp and almost made it to the deadly showers just days before the war was declared ended and Europe was liberated. And because I have been so twisted up about the world order, because I have been speaking about what I see as a repeat of a Hitler takedown, because it runs in my blood and DNA, because my father was an intricate part in liberating Europe, as millions were. And what I had the privilege of doing is holding, and I do not know this family. I know one person or two out of this entire family. But I had the privilege of holding Walter's newest offspring, his great-granddaughter, and her name was Avery. And Avery and I got to commune over communion today in a Catholic church. I am not Catholic. I'm not anything. If maybe the closest might be a Christ follower. I am a woman of spirit, and a woman of intuition, and a woman of hope, and a woman who tries to learn Scripture and take wisdom from it. A woman of remembrance, remembering. Remember is what Jesus said, actually. Remember me. We need to remember with our spirit. And on the way home, I had the privilege of listening to a woman who spoke about the fact that she has had a very strong expression of life after death in her journey through this life. And it has brought me a new sense of understanding again, remembering, where I got to remember with my spirit. And that began with praying with blue eyes in a Catholic church of a 3-month-old, that when you looked into her eyes, you could see the galaxy. She still has stardust on her. And she's telling stories with those eyes for anyone who will stop and listen. And I got to see the galaxy through Walter's death and his newest member of human beings in his line of blood and DNA having a human experience, having a spiritual experience in a human body. And when you get to touch that in the deep ocean blue that goes on forever of these newborn eyes at a funeral such of that, where that man was touted to be such a proud Canadian. He made it here. He grew up in a small town, and everyone chipped in for a ticket for him to go to Canada at around 19 or 20. His mom died when he was 4. His father died 2 days before his ticket was to take off. And he wasn't even able to attend his father's funeral. Both parents gone before the age of 19 and had spent some time at 8 years old in a concentration camp. And he came to Canada and he was a productive citizen. We didn't ask, do you have a birth certificate from this country? Thankfully, because he made this country proud and he made it better. He brought it joy and he brought it music and he brought it beautiful people. He brought it good food and good beer. And he brought it a love and a patronage for this country. We welcomed the foreigner. Well, we were all foreigners then, pretty much, other than Indigenous people. So at what point do we start shutting out those things that are different? And just recognizing that we're all spirits having a human experience here. And union is key. So I really want to thank everyone who has subscribed, which has been a lot of people around the world in the last little bit, last few weeks, last week really. I want to thank every one of you who liked it and shared it and had the guts to share it, because there's some controversial information and behavior, provocative. I make no apology. I'm Canadian, and I said I don't make any apology. The beautiful part is Canadians, they're loved by the American people. I haven't met one yet that hasn't said, I'm really sorry for what's happening. Susie. I say, I'm sorry too. We got to band together, because this isn't about us. It's bigger than this. This man is transactional, not transatlantic. It would seem to me that Musk is in charge. Look at all the body language. A man that will turn away from apparently his buddy, his 4-year-old child, in the Oval Office. Now, I did not turn away from a 3-month-old that needed to be held today in a church. Who turns away from a 4-year-old when I have the privilege of having you in the Oval Office where democracy has been born? And sadly, what I see as democracy is dying. And when you turn away from a child, democracy is dying. Sanctity is dying. Sanctity of the Constitution. I don't even live in that country. But we share such similar cultures, such similar values. And where is it that people are not asking, what value can I bring to life? Right? And I don't mean people. The regular folk, yes. But our leaders. Where are the Republicans saying, I have a chance to add value to this? I'm a Canadian woman, and I'm trying to add value to something that looks like it's going down the drain. Where is everybody? Where are the Congress that are not standing up and saying, this is wrong? I'll tell you, they're fearing for their lives, much less their jobs. But we're at war. Ukraine is losing lives every day. And as a Canadian woman, the writing's on the wall. If this is allowed to proceed, we are the next Ukrainians. We live such a privileged life, both the U.S. and Canada and the world. But the world order has changed. It cannot go back. We need to make alliances with people around the world and link arms with people. And I, for one, am rising up. All of that from a prayer with a blue-eyed 3-month-old baby that still has stardust on her. You can smell it. I believe in oneness. I believe in the being. And regardless of how hard this gets, I hope I don't lose sight of oneness and love that can creep in at the darkest of moments as the sun is just beamed out from under a cloud. Thank you, Walter. Cheers to everybody on earth. May we eat, drink, and be merry, because we don't know what tomorrow brings. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing, because the airways are being owned. Well, we still got them. Share the message. If you think that this has earned me your attention, please share it. Thank you. Till next time.